My name's Victoria.
And I'm Jasper Cullen.
And you're listening to Slash and Slay, a Twilight podcast. Oh, wow, that's loud. It's total eclipse of the heart.
Turn around.
Every now and then. That was my, I don't know. That was an impression
Jacob
of someone.
or Edward?
That was Edward.
The audiobook I'm listening to, the Jacob voice.
It's annoying.
It's like, hi, Bella.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think we're listening to the same one.
One.
He's always like, I am so mischievous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jacob,
He's like,
chill.
Like, you can tell it's like right here.
Yes.
Like in her cheeks. And she's like,
okay, audiobook girl.
okay, Bella. Like, it's like,
hi, Bella. Like, it's so weird.
and then the way Edward says, or she has Edward say, Bella.
Yes.
He does. She like, you can hear it. Bella.
Bella's like, I don't know. Edward creased me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Bella's voice is, I don't know.
Bella's voice is pretty normal, but
I will say on this re-listen of all the books, I am just not liking the three main characters at all. I'm like, y'all are the worst.
yeah.
Y'all suck.
This if you didn't know, guys, we're on
Eclipse,
which is the third book and third
installment.
movie.
We're kind of over halfway.
Yeah.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
If we count Midnight Sun,
if we count that,
we're halfway.
Yes. And this is just kind of where things get problematic if they weren't already.
Messy.
Very messy, very angsty.
Yes.
Very like, come on, oh my gosh, make up your mind. And I feel like for me, even because I read this in high school, I was a senior in high school, and I was like, I feel like even I was like, okay, you know,
get over it. Yeah. Even teenage hormone you was like,
yes,
come on, girl.
But I also ate it up, so
I feel like the movies maybe do a little bit better about you.
Sorry. I'm gonna cut that out right there.
Okay. I think the movies do a little bit better about you seeing like Edward and Bella's relationship, and like Bella is really only has eyes for Edward.
Yes,
because
I agree. Because you
books
can
it's very muddy.
Yeah, in the books she's like all over Jacob, and she's like, I shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Yeah, she literally.
And in the movies, it's like she wants to because that's her friend, and it's clearly for her. This was her friend, and in the books, it's definitely like
a little muddy.
But
before we dive deep into Eclipse. I wanted to tell you all to go watch this TikTok because it's just the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it is by what was it? A forking indie film on TikTok, and she does Twilight Barbies and reenacts the most iconic scenes, and I just think it's so funny, and everybody should watch it. Yeah,
it came across my For You page. For you feed. And it was like Edward in his like trench coat or his pea coat.
I also have something to read to you. You don't know about this.
Oh my gosh. So
my friend Emily, who's also named Emily, she knows nothing about Twilight.
Really?
She doesn't even know a spoiler. She knows nothing. But she decided to start reading it because of this podcast. So we did influence somebody.
Oh, good.
To do it.
Oh, that's always the goal.
I know. But before she started reading it, she sent me what she thinks happens.
Okay.
So do we want to listen to it?
Yes, okay. I do.
It's so funny. Okay, this is her. Here's what I think will happen in Twilight, the first book, / possibly the whole saga. I think it is about a girl named Bella who is a misunderstood teen, different from the rest, who meets a guy named Edward in high school. And he's weird and is also maybe getting bullied. He is pale. He gets sweaty because he wants blood. And he's had to move a lot because he keeps killing people. They fall in love. But the boy she grew up with, Jacob, goes to a different school and is hot AF. He warns her that he's bad news because he's a creep and weirdo. They play baseball to prove which school is best. after that, Bella leads Jacob on and flirts with him after feeling sufficiently chased by her old friend. Then Edward turns into a dick because he feels slighted. Also because he's actually really old and is tired of high school drama.
I mean,
I know.
That's kind of slay.
So then he's probably like, come live with me so we can be real together. So different. You understand me, you weirdo. I'm so different. In fact, I'm a vampire. And he convinces her to become a vampire. She ditches Jacob for good. I know she has a baby. Then the baby grows up to fall in love with someone from the other bad school. Plot twist. Ooh. That kid's dad is Jacob. They fall in love again because Edward is being a dick again. And he's seen him, and she's seen him kill people, and they almost have a full-blown affair. But then Edward finds out, and it starts a World War III of wolves versus vampires. Bella goes into hiding. She secretly somehow made herself into a wolf vampire, and it ends the war, and that's it.
Honestly, I would read that.
I know. That was kind of more entertaining.
I know, and maybe it's, I don't know if it's because I know what happens, but
wolf
that
vampire.
was kind of like a wolf vampire hybrid, okay? And then there's like love affairs happening.
I know.
Like,
and Jacob in the end. And then in the end, she decides to become both. You know, Bella's all by herself.
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a slay.
That's go in the future, or not the future. Let's go in the past and rewrite and tell Stephanie Meyer this is how it needs to go. And then she would have gotten it perfectly right.
I just had the funniest time reading that. I was like, wow.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that so funny? She has no idea anything
about
Twilight.
How?
She was homeschooled too. So
that tracks.
Yeah, it's true. My mom only let me watch it because she wanted to watch it.
Right.
So, let's dive into Eclipse. Shall we?
Dive into Eclipse.
The
is that even in? That's not. That's not even in.
Which one is that?
Which one is? 2? That's 1.
What's the? I feel like New Moon has the best soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It has.
I'd agree.
Rosalind. It has. There's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But then also Supermassive Black Hole. The first one is so good too.
I don't really remember much from Eclipse
at all.
Like the music.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen this one.
I've never seen Eclipse. I feel like Eclipse might be the one that I have rewatched the most, maybe. No, probably Twilight and then Eclipse.
Yeah.
I would skip New Moon sometimes because I didn't want to watch her be sad.
Yeah.
But, no, I've watched Eclipse many a times.
Maybe I have too. Watched it a lot.
The one thing that I will take away from this book, I'll just say it right now before I forget. Bella is just so tired all the time.
She is.
She's always like, I almost passed out because I was so tired. Or like, he had to hold me up. She like acts like she has narcolepsy because she's just like going to fall over and sleep. And
she's juggling her 2 men. She's juggling her 2 personalities. Like, I get it, girl.
Into the gaslighting and the manipulation
and the
controlling.
Trigger warning, some assault.
Literally assault, though.
But we'll get there.
And isn't it so funny? He's just a boy. He would just be assaulting people.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so the movie begins in Seattle, I think. And there's a boy, teen, walking out of some place. And he gets attacked and is writhing on the ground, and you don't really see. I mean, clearly, seems like a vampire attack, but you don't know. And it cuts back to Forks.
We're back
to Forks. We're back in Forks.
Everybody.
And everything is just so peachy keen. Bella's back to being her weird self.
Ignoring all her friends.
Yes.
Being with Edward only. But graduation's coming.
Woohoo.
It's
crazy to think that she went to the school for 1.5 years.
I was wondering that too. I was like, you did not make that many good friends like in 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But Alice is planning a big graduation party.
And Bella thinks that's the worst thing that's ever happened to her.
Again.
Of course.
Because it's a party and there's people there.
And she hates it.
Which I get. But it's just like her attitude. Like if someone was throwing a party.
That's why I still don't understand why the Cullens like love Bella. I'm like, she is so mean to y'all.
Right.
All y'all try to do is be nice to her. And she's just like,
and try to give her things.
No. Yeah.
Anyways, she has not talked to Jacob in, I guess, all summer.
Yeah, because Edward's being a little controlling.
Yes. Edward doesn't want her to go to
La Push.
LaPush because of the wolves.
Yeah, he thinks that they're so dangerous, which is so prejudiced because they think they're so dangerous,
Right.
and they're like, why do they think we're so dangerous? We don't even kill anybody. And then, but the
Yeah,
wolves don't kill
don't
anybody
either.
either. Like, they literally have never killed anybody.
They're just like, oh, they might freak out and turn in front of you. But like that happened to one person.
And also, yeah, that's like statistics. Also, isn't that the whole point of New Moon, was that any of y'all could freak out at any moment?
Right, because Jasper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
is she
your
any safer
little
with Jasper?
prejudice, like, so
and
annoying.
the wolves' purpose is to protect people.
Yeah, they're
Like
not
that is literally why they are wolves.
against their instinct to hurt a person.
Yes. So it just, all in all, just does seem a little controlling by Edward. She, Jacob doesn't return her calls because he's butthurt about not being chosen. And she decides, I'm gonna go to LaPush and I'm gonna just find him.
Yeah.
So she goes out to her car, but her car engine won't start.
I was so mad.
And Edward's there, and has taken out
He's
her
like, he.
battery or whatever. And he's like, we'll reattach it in the morning.
Yeah, when you go to school.
And then there's all these like reports of
A serial killer.
Yeah, serial killer in Seattle, disappearances and murders and stuff.
Yes. So of course Charlie's again is like, nobody go to
Nobody
Seattle.
go to Seattle.
Nobody. And I'm like, y'all, like, this is for the past 3 years, like every year and a half. It's like every 3 months there's some killer on the loose.
Right.
Who do you think it could be?
And so the Cullens are also looking for Victoria. She's kind of been darting around the lines there, and they know she's there. So they go to hunting parties looking for Victoria. And so they don't tell Bella any of this stuff, and they just kind of babysit her.
Yeah.
Which
literally.
I get why she was so annoyed that they were like, yes, you're going to go have a sleepover at Alice's, and we're just going to you just have to hang out with Alice.
Yeah. In the
book.
Well, in the book, wasn't that because Edward left to go hunt, and he didn't want her to go see Jacob?
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so...
Yeah, that would be annoying. I would be annoyed at the Cullens too. I was mad at Alice too.
She couldn't go do anything.
No.
She couldn't go do anything without Alice.
That's right.
So I get that. Why that's annoying.
Yes, that is annoying. But also protection. I just kind of wish. I mean, if it were me, I'd be like, go get her. Come on.
Right. Like, why is it taking so long?
Yes. Like, hurry up.
Literally.
But then she also was like, I don't want them to be in danger because of me.
Oh my God.
I don't want the wolves to be in danger because of me.
Again, so self-deprecating.
Or like,
it's constantly.
do you not realize that it's a threat to everybody?
Yes, it's not just
and she's
you.
like, but it's, oh my God. Like,
she's
okay, but move on. Like,
it's your fault in a way, but not really.
You're also not making it easier on anybody by being so annoying.
If she gets past the wolves and the vampires and kills you, it's not like she's gonna stop at you. She'll kill Charlie. She'll kill anyone in her vicinity. So it's not just
she's a
her
vampire.
they're protecting.
And also it wasn't your fault. She happened to be there. You were with Edward, okay? It's not. Just get over yourself. Not everything's about you. God.
Jeez.
So annoying.
But she does finally escape Edward and Alice, and she gets to LaPush.
She gets to go see Jacob, and they are so happy.
They're so happy. They're friends, and he's, of course...
Where the hell have you been? Loca Part 2.
He's just angry all the time.
Yeah.
And it's constant. Constantly he's angry. He growled.
brooding.
He snarled.
Yeah. But he really hates that he's a wolf. More so than Sam even hates that he's a wolf. He hates it. Which is so weird because he's just so puppy dog night, fun first half of New Moon.
Right.
And then wolves aren't that different. You're still human.
Yeah.
But he acts like he's completely different.
Right.
A dead soul like Edward.
Yeah.
But no.
But that's not true.
No.
And it's even, they say they can stop at some point once they are able to stop phasing.
Yeah.
And when the threat of vampires isn't around, it's
Yeah.
easier. And then they'll start aging again. They'll be
Mhm.
normal. So, yeah. And in the book, it emphasizes a lot about the sharing thoughts with the other
Mhm.
wolves.
That would be annoying.
They have one of the wolves. They have Leah and Seth. These become pretty big characters in the next couple books. The Clearwaters, this is Harry's kids.
Harry, Sue, Leah.
They have
Seth.
also become wolves. And Leah
Surprise.
is the first woman to become a wolf.
Gal wolf.
And Seth is like the youngest. He's like 15.
Yeah.
14.
14. Little.
Looks, I'm like, Jacob's only 16 though.
So
Just think about that. But I love his character.
Seth.
Yeah.
Me too.
He's so he is literally what Jacob
was
like should, and they do mention that like it's kind of what Jacob was before he became a wolf,
Yeah.
but he maintains that even as a
Good
wolf.
for Seth.
Yes,
Sweet baby.
we love Seth Clearwater,
Yeah.
and then Leah's kind of a little, but she's been
bitter.
through
She's
it.
been
I don't
through it.
blame
I
her.
do not blame Leah one.
And all the guys hate. Like, I imagine how misogynistic those freaking wolves are.
They hate her because she's feeling feelings and thinking thoughts.
Yes,
They're literally
exactly.
like, shut up.
But they also think thoughts and feel feelings, but
Uh-huh.
it's fine because
Yeah.
theirs is anger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay,
hers is bitter.
right,
Let her be bitter.
right. Just let her be bitter.
Along with that, we get Leah's backstory. Did we get that one in? Oh, we got that in New Moon. Leah's backstory? No, we got that in this one. Right?
Have they talked about imprinting?
No, that wasn't.
They
this
do.
one.
They talk about imprinting.
And we have a little foreshadowing because one of the wolves imprints on a 2-year-old.
Oh gosh, yeah. They don't really talk about that in the movie,
No.
but in the book, one of the wolves has imprinted on a 2-year-old, and it's like, it's really just about protection. It's not romantic.
It's not grooming, guys. It is not.
No.
Let me repeat. It is not grooming.
And she's even like, does the kid even have a choice? Like when she grows up, she can even have a choice. And Jacob's like, of course she's a choice, but
Who can resist?
who can resist
Literally.
someone who loves you that much? It's a little questionable for me.
All right. Oh, we also get Rosalie's backstory
We
a little
do.
earlier.
Oh yeah, we do get Rosalie's backstory. We learn that she was like a socialite, and
She wanted a baby so
yeah,
bad.
she wanted a baby so bad. She wanted to get married so bad, and so she was going to marry this like rich, powerful man.
Mm-hmm.
But he was not so good.
Not a good guy.
And one night, him and his friends are drunk, and they
start assaulting Rosalie.
yes, they assault her, they kill her, or they
Leave
try
her
to
for
kill
dead.
her, leave her for dead. And that's when Carlisle finds her
Mm-hmm.
and transformed her. And she kind of tells Bella about the transformation and screaming and just how awful
How
it was.
painful it is,
And
yeah.
that's why she doesn't like Bella. Because she feels like Bella is like giving up this life that Rosalie wanted so bad.
Yeah.
Which I
100%.
I get. I understand.
Literally, like, Rosalie is the Leah of the Cullen
Yeah.
clan.
Mhm.
Bitter,
You're right.
doesn't like it. But
You're right.
they're also overlooked, and everybody's like, oh, they're just bitches, but they're really not.
Yeah.
Um,
They have like there's another time when they need to go, Bella needs to be protected.
mhm.
So they finally agree, Edward and Jacob, they come to a truce that she'll be safe on the land finally. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Obviously. It was obvious from
Mhm.
the beginning. If you're so smart,
The
Edward.
Stinky dog land.
Right. So there's this like trade-off, which is a little
It is so weird.
possessive.
Yes. Which I get, you're trying to keep her safe, but like they do not need to act that way about it.
Right. So like they get to the border and Edward drives her to the border. She gets out, like she kisses him like all passionately.
Mhm.
She crosses the border to Jacob. He's shirtless, like just
course.
leaning against his like car
Buff.
and like hugs her all like seductively and like looks at Edward.
Yeah,
and
the
they,
way
like-
he hugs her in that, I'm like,
Yeah.
gross.
And Edward like zoop skirts off.
Volvo's away.
Mm-hmm. And they go to this bonfire They haven't had a bonfire. No, they did it in New Moon, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's another bonfire where they're going to tell stories about the wolves. And we learn all this like
The lore.
legend lore about the Quileute leaders and
When they first came across.
well,
Well, it goes very way back of how they were spirit warriors.
yes, how they first became wolves.
Yes, they were spirit warriors first, and then one of the spirits got stuck in the spirit world and decided to make a bargain with a wolf. And he started living in a wolf, and then that's when they started to be able to transform into wolves.
In the book, it goes very into it. In the movie, it's just this one little story about the cold ones and how one of the wives, who was just a human, one of the wolves was being her husband, the leader, was being killed by the cold one, and to save his life, she stabbed herself, and blood everywhere, and that distracted her enough to get killed.
Don't you think, like,
Again, foreshadowing, but
a swift...
That's what I was thinking too when I was watching the movie. She literally stabs herself in the stomach. Like, girl, you could have literally stabbed yourself anywhere else, or like
I would have stabbed my butt.
Slice open that butt. It's fine.
Arm.
Well, I think I have to sit. That would kind of hurt.
Yeah, but like, if you want a lot of blood,
True.
My big old booty.
Get that big old
My
booty.
big old booty would definitely bleed profusely.
I mean, you could like stab yourself in a few places and just, I mean, that would do the trick.
Yeah.
She didn't need to literally
That was
kill
me
herself.
stabbing myself. That noise.
That's what it's going to sound like.
Yeah. Yeah, she was
do it.
very dramatic about it.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary, but
no, whatever.
of course.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. She died,
Go
but
on,
she
girl.
died a hero, and Bella's like, oh, she was a human, but she was a hero to these people.
Ooh, yeah.
Again, foreshadowing. So we have, what do we have? We have the graduation party.
Yes, finally it's
Well, we have
time.
graduation, and there's
It's time to graduate.
In the movie, Jessica gives the speech.
Yes.
In the book, it was Eric.
Yeah, because Jessica's not valedictorian.
No.
Which is fine.
Yeah, but then we have the big old party, and of course Bella's like moping around and is upset.
Did we
skip stuff? I'm sure we did.
whenever Jacob so she goes and hangs out with Jacob again, and then Jacob tries to that's after
Pretty sure.
oh
Wait, no, that's before the graduation party. But I think, did we miss the part where Edward comes over and she's like, oh, I know I smell like a dog, and he's like, no, someone else has been in the house.
Well, in the book, she was like, I cannot find any of my things. And my room is all clean.
She's like, Alice must have done that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, dummy. Yeah,
So
sure.
stupid.
And it takes like a few weeks for her to be like, oh, well, a lot of my stuff was missing. And they're like,
yes. It takes her so
probably
long to
someone
be
trying
like,
to track you,
she's
dummy.
like, my red shirt is gone. Alice.
Yeah.
Like, girl.
No, but in the movie, Edward's there and he's like, wait, someone else has been here.
Yeah.
And smells another vampire. And they were like, it's not one we recognize. We don't know who this vampire is. And so they're like, okay, well, we're going to double up on our, surveillance of Bella's house. So then they're like, okay, random vampire was just chilling out in the house.
Yeah.
Weird.
We don't know why. It could be the Volturi.
Yeah, probably them.
Totally makes sense.
Right. No. Not the girl that we've been hunting for the past year and a half. No way. Anyway, let's graduate. So they're graduate.
First, she's hanging out with Jacob.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where they're on the beach and he's like,
I have to tell you.
He's like, I have to tell you, I'm in love with you. And she's like, okay, and she's like, I love you, but not in that way. And
she
he's
literally
like,
said, I love you like I love Charlie. And I was like, ooh.
ouch.
Rough. Yeah.
Father's owned.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like, it's like, feel me, I'm warm and I'm human and we could be so good together. And I know you feel it the same way. And she's like, I don't. And he's like,
read my lips. I don't. Literally.
And he says, read my lips. And in the book, the way they describe it,
nasty.
he is like literally forcing himself on her.
Literally.
And she is like fighting him off at first, and then she just has to like, it's
She
literally
shut down. Like it's literally like a trauma response.
Yeah, she shuts down, she stops moving, she says eventually he has to stop.
Isn't that awful?
It was
that made my
awful.
stomach hurt.
And me too. When I was listening to it, I was like, how was she ever talk to him again after this? Like, that was it was really horrible.
Disgusting.
It was so rough. In the
Yeah.
in the movie, obviously they didn't do that way.
Yeah.
They want you to still actually like Jacob. And he just like kisses her and she pushes him off. Like, it's real simple. Still,
don't do that.
don't do that. It's happened to me.
Uh-huh. When you say no and
When you say no, and and
as Bella should.
as Bella should, she punches him in the face.
Yeah.
But of course he's a strong jaw man. So she breaks her hand.
Her whole hand.
On his face.
In the book he was like, you know, being all smug about his, like, I know you liked it, and being so nasty. Oh my gosh,
he kept saying that. He kept saying,
you liked
I know
it.
you liked it. I know you felt something.
Yeah.
And she's like,
he
no,
can't
I
kiss
didn't.
you like that. He might break you. I'm a human. But then she was like talking about her hand being freaking broken.
Right.
And he's like, if you wouldn't have even started crying, I wouldn't even know that you had tried to punch me. And I was like,
just being such an ass. So he takes her home.
Yeah.
And she shows up, and I think in the movie, I can't entirely remember what happened in the book, but in the movie, Edward gets there, and he's like so mad, rightfully so. He's so mad. He's like, don't you ever touch her again without her permission. Don't ever. And he doesn't say like, don't ever touch her again, as if like she wouldn't want him to. If he wants, you know, he's like, without her permission, do not ever do that.
King.
And in the book, this makes me too mad too. Charlie is like,
good for you, son.
Good for you.
I'm glad you tried.
Yeah.
And then he's like, uh-oh, Edward's coming, and he wants them to fight. Like,
and I'm like, your daughter literally just said, like, he forced himself on me, and I did not want it. She says that, and he's like, well, you can't blame him for trying. He had to try it. And then Jacob's just like smug the whole time.
Yeah,
just
and
like
Jacob's
smirking, like,
what if she wants me to?
That's how she does it in the book.
I know you like it. Like, little evil goblin. Yeah, he keeps saying, he keeps like, oh, well, what if she wants me to kiss him? And that's when Edward's like, well, if she wants to, then she'll ask you.
Yeah.
Like, it's
don't
okay.
ever do it without.
Don't do it without.
He doesn't. I don't feel like he's as angry in the book. Maybe he is.
No,
but
I feel like
he is very much like
in the book.
Don't do
really
that.
Like. I feel like we had some growth with Edward and his controlling nature after the whole kidnapping her and giving Alice a Lamborghini so that she wouldn't let her go there. And he was like, I understand that you like want your friendship with Jacob, so I'll let you go, and like be like, just please call me. Like, whenever you want me to pick
he
you
does.
up.
He really does grow quickly, which is like good, because you should, as being a 102-year-old man, you should know growth and know like, and he is very like, from then on he's very like
unproblematic.
He really is, honestly.
Also, like, whenever he bought, it was really like touching when he bought that motorcycle to ride with her too, and he was like, oh, I see that this is something you do with Jacob, and I'm really sorry for infringing on that. And I was like, oh my god.
Like, honestly, from this point on, Team Edward.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, because
he didn't try to assault her.
Yeah.
Lord, it gets worse too later. But anyways, she says, I don't ever talk to Jacob again. Anyways, it's graduation. They have graduation.
Who shows up?
Who shows up to the graduation party but Jacob? And he's like, I'm sorry for doing. He does apologize, but
it's a pretty bracelet.
Yes, and he gives her a little carving of a wolf. She's like, okay, all's forgiven.
Yeah, whatever.
And then all of a sudden Alice has a vision. She notices that Alice is having a vision. And what's that vision?
They finally put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, oh, we think Victoria's behind all of this.
But how did they...
Right?
I thought she saw the Volturi coming because she thought something about the newborns.
Oh, wait, you know what? That's the part I'm at on the audiobook right now. So I don't know what her vision was yet. Okay, it was that. But right before that, before graduation, when Alice and Bella are getting ready together in the book, Bella's like, oh, wait, I think Victoria's behind all this.
Oh, yeah. Bella is actually for once as smart in her stupid little life.
Yes, in her stupid little life.
She's literally like, I think it's Victoria. And they're like, no, it's the Volturi. And she's like, but I really think that we should think about it being Victoria. And they're like, we didn't want to listen to you.
Yeah.
So Alice's vision is about newborns, all the serial killer stuff that's happening in Seattle.
Newborn
is coming,
army.
Yes, is coming to them. And they still don't know why. They still don't understand why. And so
the wolves are there conveniently.
Yes, they're there. So they have this big powwow and they're like, okay, we need to start training you guys on how to deal with newborns. Because our Mr. Jasper, he knows all about newborns.
Knows all about newborns.
Jasper.
Because he used to be a newborn army trainer in the Confederate Army.
The Confederate Army.
Jasper.
Oh,
not
Jasper.
the Confederacy.
Not Jasper.
Yeah, we got his backstory too.
We did.
Where he was with that girl, the band of gals.
Mm-hmm.
And they were... Their basically their goal was to get newborns
to make a ruckus so that they can
eat as much as they want
without it coming back on them.
Yeah, which was like very roundabout way of doing, especially like in the 1800s. Like I feel like you can ransack a town, you'll be good. You know,
you'll
like
be fine. No one's gonna tweet about it.
Like, no, like you're good.
You're
but,
okay.
Yeah.
So Jasper was in charge of turning the newborns.
Mm-hmm. He was sure good at it.
He was very good at it. So he knows all about how they fight.
Yes.
So they get all the wolves and stuff out together, out into the forest to learn how to fight.
Yes.
And we have a beautiful moment between Jacob
and Bella.
is their name. Jacob and Bella. Him is a wolf, and she's like petting him, and he's like nuzzling against her, and that's also assault. I'm sorry, but just because you're a wolf doesn't not make it assault.
Yeah.
But we see like everyone fighting and all their different fighting skills, and Jasper's
it's so badass. It's beautiful.
Teaching them that they're very, very strong. They're most strongest because they still have human blood in them, but that they're like they're not very precise. Yeah. They're not very smart.
They're very tunnel. They have a lot of tunnel vision. Just blood. They have bloodlust. And so they're training on how to best confuse them and come at them in different tactics than they normally would. Yeah. Fight somebody. So they start to get a little game plan together. And Alice also sees that they're going to come from two directions. Because they decided they're going to use Jacob to mask Bella's scent. Yes. And Bella's going to lead them on a false trail.
Yes. So they have this moment where they're going, like he has to carry her and go up, you know, into the woods. And so, you know, they're just like having it. And he's being gross whenever in the book. Like again, in the movie, they make him a lot more likable, a lot less pervy, but in the book, he's like he's a little perv.
Down. Yeah. Jacob. And this is another time that they're all fighting about where to put Bella because she's like, where am I? Like, they're like,
where do I go?
Yeah. They're like, she's like, I have to get away from here.
And then she's also like, Edward, like, please don't fight with them. Please stay with me. Selfish. Because I would hate for if you of all people were to die. Like, I don't want anyone to die, but if you died, I would hate it. Yeah. So he doesn't. I mean, obviously he wants to fight with his family. I mean, he's the thinker.
Also,
right?
It would be one less person. Like,
right. But because they keep saying, "Oh, it's going to be no." It's gonna
be easy.
It's gonna be an easy fight.
10 newborns.
So she's like, "Okay, if it's gonna be easy, then stay with me."
Yeah.
And he agrees. And she's like,
I'd be so pissed if I was his family.
I know.
I'd be like, okay, right.
All right. Just, we're doing this for
even though me and my partner are down here.
Right.
Okay. Have fun in the tent.
And but she even is like, I would ask Jacob to do it too, but I know he won't because he's going to fight with his family.
Yeah.
But
She doesn't care.
No,
much.
she doesn't care. So then we have the night before the big battle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And she's taken to the Cullens house, and Edward's room has a bed in it now.
A
It's this
beautiful, big
beautiful bed for her to sleep in. And she doesn't want to sleep.
Personally, I would get to dreaming.
I know. I would be crawling
bed,
under
are you
those
kidding
covers.
me?
It looks so.
I bet the Cullens are like their guest bathrooms, like even their bathrooms.
Oh,
I bet they have like La Roche-Posay, like
yes.
face wash, moisturizer.
Just like I take a bubble bath.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just heaven.
Oh, I bet they have heated like towel
Oh,
racks.
100%.
Because they're like,
I bet they have
vampires.
heated floors
oh my
too.
Gosh, even though they're vampires and cold and can't feel anything,
they would have it 100%. But okay, so I just have to like this scene. This scene is so vividly in my memory.
Yeah, me too.
Of when I went to saw it. So the movie came out. I was in college at this point. So when I went and saw it, okay, if my husband's listening to this, turn it off now.
Don't listen.
Because I went to go see it with some work friends.
Oh no.
And one of the guys, I was like in love with him. And he had just broken up with his girlfriend like not very long ago.
Perfect timing.
And it was me, this one guy, this other girl who actually liked the other guy.
Okay.
And then me, and then this guy that
Love
I
of your
liked.
life.
Yes. Not love of my life. No, absolutely not. Love of the current moment. And so I just remember this scene because they're like making out hardcore in this scene. And I just remember like feeling so weird.
Yeah.
Like I just remember feeling so uncomfortable because
he was right there.
He was right there. And like, I think he was also heartbroken because, you know, but I was also in love with it.
Yeah.
And it just
weird vibes.
Yes. It's so anytime I see the scene, I remember it.
Oh no.
It takes me back and I'm like,
yeah,
it's kind of uncomfortable because she's also like, hey, here's what I'll do. Here's why I'll marry you. I'll only marry you if we can have sex.
Literally.
In this form. Like, I want you with your... Okay, I've also seen these memes of it's like an icicle. and it's like Bella on the honeymoon night or whatever. And it's just like, seriously though?
Why? Like, what is wrong with her?
I don't know.
She is nasty.
She's
nasty. She's like desperate. Like, she wants it so bad.
She wants it so bad.
And Edward's like, yeah, I'm tempted too.
Yeah,
like,
right. He's like, yeah, it's really hard for me. I really want you too. He's like, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to kill you.
Really hard. Yeah, it's really tempting for me too. But
I'm old fashioned.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
he's like, I don't want to break you. And it's just so weird to talk about. It's like, if we have sex, I'm literally gonna rip you apart. Like
that is so
what?
Despicable.
And you still want to have sex with him?
What kind of like? I don't think Stephanie Meyer had sex at this point.
I don't know. She's married with kids.
She was?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
True.
Share fantasies. Because like I think you can control yourself a little bit. You know, like you don't just
right
go crazy. Like calm.
Yeah.
Calm down, everybody. Let's all take a breath.
But I think it was like because But you do know your own strength. Like he does know his own strength. Yeah. But she's like, it's just this one human thing that I want to experience.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Also, a lot of bartering between the two. This whole...
Oh, yeah.
All of Eclipse.
For like...
I'll do this if you do this.
Yes.
And if you do this, then I'll... And insecurities. Mm-hmm. Because she's like, do you not want me to be a vampire because you won't like me anymore? Yeah. And he's like, no. Do you want to be a vampire because you want to get rid of me? And she's like, no. And just like, back and forth. Yeah. And it's so annoying. I'm like, y'all don't know by now? Y'all are going to get married and y'all don't know by now?
Like, chill out.
Yeah.
So he offers her, or he presents her with a ring.
big old
a big
ring.
old fat ring. And she's like, I don't want to take this. He's like, well, you'll accept like Jacob's gift, which good point. And she's like, that's because like I'm equal with Jacob and I'm not equal with you. So if any gifts you get, it's like, shut up.
She's like, Jacob's poor too. That's so mean.
Right. Poor Jacob just getting roasted.
Jacob's poor and made this by hand.
Right. So like if you make something by hands, like maybe I'll consider it, but you probably not because like your hands are diamonds. So
honestly, like if his financial situation is such a big deal to you, Bella, like
it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's just not gonna work.
No.
But also you never have to want for anything. Like you have the dream.
Yeah.
Whatever. So annoying.
Anyways,
she gets her big old ring.
She gets her big old ring. She doesn't wear it because it's big. It's big.
It's big.
I could not. I could never. Like
no,
that's like
beautiful dainty.
Half your hands. You know.
Yeah.
You're like,
I knock my hand.
Yes, I already knocked my hand on everything.
Yeah.
So then it's the next day and
fight day.
Well, not yet. It's prepare for battle day.
Right.
So
pre-game.
It's pre-game for the newborn battle. They do the little routine. Jacob goes up, takes her up to the mountain in the middle in snow. Like, really? Why are you choosing this place? Like, you know she's a little bitch baby.
Literally.
She can't survive anything.
No. She can't even stand up straight without almost fall asleep.
So, yeah, because she does sleep the whole time he takes her up there.
Yeah.
But, so they're in a tent, and it's cold.
Cold.
It's so cold.
And did she bring
proper
clothing?
Proper clothing. Did they think to bring like a million blankets? No, they have a little sleeping bag and that's it.
They have a little sleeping bag and a little tent.
And
for being so rich, you don't have like
right. You don't have like a
generator,
full on right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Camper.
Mm-hmm. So, because they could have carried the camper with their
two
little strength. Yeah.
Whatever. Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah. So she's all chattering and shivering and she's like, she's gonna die if it keeps up like this. And so Edward's like, I can't do anything to help her
because I'm so chilly.
Because I'm so cold.
I'm stone cold.
And Jacob's like, well, I can.
I'm hot.
And so he gets in the sleeping bag with her and they curl up. She curls up. She's starting to get warm with him. And then she like falls asleep, quote unquote. Right. And hears them talking about her. And this is when we get a very real moment between Edward and Jacob, where Jacob's like, you're telling me that if she chose me, you wouldn't, like, you wouldn't be mad. You wouldn't like force her to be with you. And he's like, Edward's like, no, if she chose you, like, I would still watch over her from a distance, but which is it's a little creepy. But he's like, no, like, I want her to genuinely be happy. And Jacob's like,
not me.
That can't be true because I want her to genuinely be happy, and it's only with me. Yeah. And so,
of course, it is easy for Edward to say that when he's the one she did choose, but also it's better than what Jacob's doing.
But I honestly truly believe Edward would.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't believe he would force. I mean, he would 100% not ever force himself.
No.
On Bella. So then it's the next day. It's fight day. And everyone's getting ready for the fight.
Oh, we missed one other thing that Jacob said that was perverted.
What?
When he was thinking and Edward could hear his thoughts.
Oh, yeah, because he was like up against her.
No, and he was like, I was just thinking that it would be better if you were naked because then it would, the body heat would be better.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Whatever. You get warmer if you were naked or whatever. And I was like, oh my God.
He's such a little perv.
Nasty.
Such a perv.
Anyway, fight day.
So the plan is that little Seth Clearwater, as a wolf, is going to stay with Edward and Bella up on the mountain.
Jacob's the walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Jacob's going to go fight so that he can, hear the thoughts and see everything that's going on and Edward can see. So, they're outside the tent and Bella and Edward are talking,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember. Bella says something, or Edward says something about marriage, or like
my wife.
yes,
Yeah.
like we're engaged or something like that. And they hear a noise. Like, what is that? And it's Jacob.
Getting
And
so
he
angry.
heard, and he's pissed. So pissed.
Yeah.
So,
I don't understand why he's so mad about that when he knew like she's gonna be a vampire soon.
right.
Like he was like, well, I'm gonna try until
your heart stops beating.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
And then marriage is what you're like, nope,
Right.
sacred, like whatever.
So he runs off all mad, and she's like, Edward, I have to like fix this. So she follows him, and even in the movie, this is the most manipulative shit ever.
So uncomfortable.
He is like, you know what, I'm gonna go out to that battle and I'm gonna like die, basically, because of this. She's like, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna die. And she's like, I can't let him die. It's literally something like some psychopath would say, like, you're trying to break up with him, and they're like,
okay, well, I'm
gonna go kill myself.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that is
sick and
psychotic
twisted.
behavior. Yeah. And of course she's like, no, Jacob, don't do that. Like, I do love you. And he's like, well, you don't love me like you love him. She's like
I've told you, but whatever.
Right? Like, I'm not. She hasn't let him on.
No.
During this part. Yes,
No.
she did a new moon to an extent, but I would say at this point she has not. And she's like, but I do love you. And in the movie, she's like, kiss me. And he's like,
She says it just
okay.
like that too, like, kiss me.
She's like, Jacob,
yeah.
kiss me.
Ew.
And he's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, all right, yeah.
So in the movie, they like kiss, and then he's like,
Okay.
okay.
I won't kill myself
I won't kill myself now. In the book, she does say, kiss me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over, and he's like kissing her, and she's not kissing him back because she does not want to. And he's like, you're gonna have to do better than that, like, seriously.
Disgusting.
And she eventually does start kissing him back because she doesn't want him to go die.
Kill himself, yeah.
And he just is so, like, he's violent about it.
Yes.
He is violent about it.
Yeah.
It's even noted in the book. She's like, he's being violent about this.
Too much. So they kiss. And then
in the book, she's like, I do feel something. Like, girl, no. Girl, you don't feel anything.
It was just kissing. Yeah.
Like, she's like, you love him as a brother, which you've said multiple times. You, like, she's like, I think I do, like, have feelings for him. Because I did feel I'm like, you didn't. He literally forced it on you.
Yes.
And made you feel something because he was saying he was going to go die.
Yeah, like, that's literally textbook
Manipulation. Emotional abuse.
And manipulation, yeah. So, after that,
he runs off. And Edward, of course, hears his loud-ass thoughts.
Loud thoughts.
Being like, I kiss Bella. And, like, replaying it in his head. Like a freak.
I'd be so mad if I was Edward.
I know, but he was like, you did what you had to do. like, I get it. I get why you love him. So
you can't, like, appease men like that. Like, if they're angry like that, you can't just give them what they want.
No.
Like, he was throwing a tantrum.
He was
throwing a tantrum so he could get Bella. And, like, she should have just been like, okay, go. And, like, he's not gonna actually do that. Like, he was just being a hothead.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because he wouldn't do that to his tribe.
No.
He wouldn't do that to his wolf people.
No.
And I don't even think he really fully could. He'd have to, like, actually very hard, like, try, like,
to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, Bella, you're dumb. So he runs off, and it's time to fight. All the Cullens are down there.
Yeah, all the Cullens, all the wolves are down there.
Except for Edward.
Except for Edward. And he's seeing everything in Seth's head about the fight that's going on. The newborns come. It's a pretty easy fight.
Yeah.
Like,
so far, so
they're
good.
getting destroyed.
Yeah, because they're little
And suddenly, Edward smells something.
Smells something familiar.
And it's Victoria.
And she's all the way up there on the mountain.
Yes, because she followed Edward's scent because she's smart. Like, no shit. Like, Edward would go.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Why would Bella think that? She's like, yeah, the wolf smell wasn't enough because I literally was tracking you.
Right.
So.
And she's with her
new boo thing.
Yeah, her new boo thing, Riley, who we met in the beginning.
Yes.
Who turns out he was kind of like Jasper's job, you know?
Yeah. He was the recruiting agent.
He was. And so they start fighting.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Seth comes in and he takes Riley out and he's like fighting with them. And Edward's like, Victoria's about to run away. And Edward's like, this is the last chance you'll get. She's right here. Like, come get her.
Yeah.
And they have a big fight. And there's a moment in the movie, where Riley and Victoria both have him, which is not realistic because he would read their thoughts. He would know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have to make it more dramatic.
His head.
Right. He's like cracking. But in the book, she just thinks like Seth is like playing like he's hurt, but he's not really. Anyways. So she picks up a rock. And she does what that one wife human hero did.
Stabbed herself in the gut.
And she tries to kill herself. She cuts her arm. So that her arm is bleeding.
And then Riley's like, and Victoria's like,
it's like blood.
Blood. And
distracts. And then they're able to kill Victoria and Riley.
But doesn't Seth kill Riley?
Yeah.
So Riley's like, Victoria, help me.
Yeah. And she's like,
no. Yeah. And he's like, no.
Because
and even after Edward was like, Riley, she's just using you.
Right.
And he's like, no, she loves me.
Yeah.
And then, he
got played.
Then finally they get Victoria. This little girl's been bugging him.
And she is taken out.
She's taken out.
No more Victoria. She's been the villain for 3 books.
Literally.
3 movies. No more Victoria.
So they're like, okay, well, that was easy.
Right? So they go back to the battlefield, and there's this one like young newborn.
Like,
who is like,
you forgot one.
Yeah. And she's like, she surrendered.
Yeah.
She's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Here?
She's like, I'm just scared and alone.
Yeah. And I feel really bad for her.
I really want to drink some blood. Yeah.
I felt
me too.
really bad for her. But then there's also this.
She was in.
That girl?
Yeah. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She played one of the Manson.
Oh, really?
People. And then she was in something that came out last year. I can't remember.
She's very familiar.
She's in a lot of horror stuff. So I think it was a horror movie. I think we had seen it last year, maybe.
We might have.
Yeah. I don't remember. Anyway.
So, but they missed a newborn. And he comes out and he is going after Leah. And Jacob jumps in. And the newborn gets his arms around him and like breaks his ribs. And then they take the newborn out. But Jacob is like writhing in pain.
Yeah, because his ribs
and
are
broken. And
but he'll be fine in like an hour or so.
Right, but they know it's gonna hurt. So take him away.
Yeah. And
of course Bella is like, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I do love him. Blah blah blah.
Shut up.
No, you don't. So then Alice is like,
wait a minute.
Someone's coming. And Edward's like, how close are they? And she's like, they're coming now. And it's the Volturi. Or the Volturi guards.
Washington.
Yes, not the actual
Jane
Volturi. Jane.
And I almost said Dakota. Dakota Fanning. Jane and
Felix.
I almost said Matthew. What's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, Jane and Felix, right?
Yeah, and some other ones. And they're there to check on the newborn situation.
They're like, y'all got this.
Yeah.
Y'all got it in control.
And they're like, oh, wait, but you missed one. And they're like, no, she's with us. We'll take responsibility. Like,
she'll be our new sissy.
No. And
she has to be punished.
They kill her. And they're also like, okay, Bella, well, you're not a vampire yet, so. Tick-tock on the clock.
Yeah.
And the battle is over.
Wow.
The battle is won.
Nobody died.
Seth
hurt his leg a little bit.
Yeah. And then Jacob got
all his ribs broken. He deserved it.
He
Okay.
did. Well, Bella goes to visit him, and he's had to get all his like bones rebroken so they would heal right. And Carlisle's having to like break them.
So sorry.
So when he's like recovering, Bella goes in and she's like, "Well,
I do love you.
I love you, but I have to pick him. I'm picking him." And Jacob's like, "Okay."
Did he really think he stood a chance? Like delusional.
He was a little delusional. But it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's officially over between them.
But then he's still like, I'll be there as a friend. He still is very...
He is in the movie. Does he do that in the book? Or is he just like pissed? He's like, get out of my sight. But in the movie, he's like, still be there for you. Which is, we love. This is why we love Jacob. We love movie Jacob.
We like movie Jacob.
Book Jacob is kind of
movie Jacob
the worst.
And book Edward would be a tough combo to choose between.
100%. 100%.
Ooh.
Oof.
It would be hard.
That'd be hard. Anyways, so now Edward and Bella are in the meadow again.
Always in that dang
Always
meadow.
in the ding dang meadow. And
they're sparkling.
He's sparkling and he's like, "Are you gonna marry me?" And she's like, "Okay, fine." God, quit asking.
I want to have sex with you.
Because he's like, "Yes, if you marry me, I'll turn you and I'll have sex with you." And she's like, "All right."
He will do anything for a wife. He just wants a wife so bad.
Yeah, I mean,
and she just wants to have sex and be a vampire so bad.
It's like modern versus like, I don't know, old
Literally.
school. But seriously. Yeah, so she puts the ring on and she's like, "Well, we got to go do the scariest thing of all. We got to tell Charlie."
And then it's over.
And then that's where it ends. And we know that coming up, we're going to have a wedding.
Yes, we're going to have a wedding. And now they don't really have anything standing in their
There's
way,
nothing really standing in their way. There's no enemies that are just unknown lurking out there.
They have a plan. They're going to get married. They're going to have sex. Then she's going to get turned.
And nothing is going to go wrong.
Nothing's going to go wrong.
At all.
They're just going to have a beautiful wedding.
Yep.
Can't wait.
So excited.
And she says say goodbye to everybody that she loves. Anyway.
Yes. Because she thinks, because she's really going to go never see anyone ever again.
Yeah.
So.
Which she could stick around for at least 10 years, I feel like.
Right. But her fear is like when she's a newborn, she's going to be like these newborns who are just blood crazy and they don't care about anything else but blood for like the first year or two.
Well, we'll see if she becomes a vampire and if that happens.
We'll see what happens in the next installment.
Breaking Dawn.
Part 1.
Part 1.
Part 1.
Are we going to do part 1 and then part 2 episodes?
That would be less.
That would be more than a month.
That would be more than a month.
So we have to do 1 and 2 all next week.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be like a 2-hour episode.
Good.
Good.
Perfect.
Perfection.
We'll have to have another episode later about Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
Which I haven't read yet.
I haven't either. I mean, besides the legal stuff.
Wait, did you say that they're going to make a TV show?
I heard that someone saw they were going to make a TV show.
I think I'm going to lose my mind if they do that. I think I'll quit my job. I don't think I need any.
I don't need anything else. Well, who is going to? I don't know. The casting choices.
I don't care.
Right.
I don't care.
You cannot choose
with the Harry Potter
anybody.
TV show. I literally do not care if they look 40,
yes,
30,
I don't care either.
However old they are now.
Yeah. I don't care either. I want they are the characters.
If I see another brown hair, brown hair, pale skin little girl.
Yeah. Not going.
Yeah.
I will.
Not doing that. Not biting her lip.
Yeah.
Not grabbing her hair like this.
Yes.
I will lose it.
Me
I will
too.
turn it off.
Me too.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Ends that. That's it.
That's all I need is not that.
Oh, we do have one more thing to talk about, don't we?
We do?
Yes. We were kindly asked to read a book by an author. It's a new horror book coming out on September 26th.
Yes. So that's today.
It's today.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out today.
It's coming out today.
Guys, run to Barnes & Noble right now.
Literally run. Get
Go
this
to
book.
Amazon or your indie booksellers if they have it.
Yes. It's called Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig.
It is a big boy, I must
It's
admit.
a big old book, let me just say.
It's how many pages is it? Like almost 1,000, I think.
Yeah. It's up there with
book.
like Stephen King.
Yes.
And big old book boys.
But there's something about the fall. And
It's
big old book.
It is perfect for fall. Just
Yes.
what
The
it's about,
vibes.
everything about it is fall-tastic.
Fall to a T. We also don't want to give too many spoilers because it's just such a good deep dive into this book. Read it. But I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of it, and this is going to sell you on it, I promise. Okay, here it is. It's autumn in the town of Harrow, but something besides the season is changing there. Because in that town there is an orchard, and in that orchard, 7 most unusual trees. And from those trees grow a new sort of apple, strange, beautiful, with skin so red it's nearly black. Take a bite of one of these apples, and you will desire only to devour another and another. But then your appetite for the apples and their peculiar gifts will keep growing and become darker. Soon it seems that everyone is consumed by an obsession with the magic of the apples, but something else is buried in the orchard besides the seeds of these extraordinary trees, a bloody history whose roots reach back to the very origins of the town. But now the leaves are falling, the days grow darker, it's harvest time, and the town will soon reap what it has sown.
I really like the main character of the dad. There's like a lot, there's a lot of point of views, a lot of characters to get to know. And the dad is an interesting character because he's the one who created grew the apples and is trying to sell them, and is kind of the first one to get the effects of, I guess, the magic,
The whole magic
of the apples. So his character, as he's like changing throughout, using the magic, like you're seeing the effects and seeing like his kind of like opposite kind of personalities or whatever. And I just like the aspect of, we've talked about before, we like towns, like
we
towns
love
that have
creepy towns,
dark,
weird creepy towns,
weird like rituals and history and
yes,
and kind of haunted towns.
This one really reminded me of the Dark Harvest town, where it's the pumpkin. I mean, they have that pumpkin harvest, so it's like the same thing, and they just kind of go along with this thing because everybody goes along with it.
Yeah,
and it's just it gives me those same vibes. But like I said, I mean, that blurb was just so autumnal when I first read it, and I was like, this is just perfect for digging right into autumn. That's like a prime spot. Good for them for
they really, I mean, their market.
Yeah,
they know their market.
Good for them. And it was very kind of them to reach out to us.
Yes.
And ask us to do it. I'm going to write a whole review about it on Macabre Daily too. If you want an in-depth review, a little bit more in-depth, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we suggest that you go get this book, Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig.
Yes, get it today.
Get
it today.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the Eclipse episode.
Total Eclipse.
We don't know what we're going to name this yet, but it's going to be something.
Probably, why is Bella so sleepy?
Why is Bella?
Why is Jacob so
Jacob should be in jail. That's what it should be called.
Yeah, we could. But then the last one has to be an Edward.
Oh, yeah. For sure. We'll find.
I cannot wait for Breaking Dawn.
Edward is daddy.
Edward is daddy.
Edward is daddy. So
that means nothing if you don't know about Breaking Dawn yet.
Yes.
If you don't,
he could be daddy without being a daddy. You know?
Charlie's daddy. Carlisle's daddy.
Yeah, that's true.
Edward will be daddy.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Just kidding. Y'all already know.
You already know.
Except for Emily, but
well, even she knew that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at //slaypod
or on TikTok at //slaypod.
And that's it.
Yeah, you can email us at //slaypod@gmail.com. At //slaypod. We always do that. //slaypod@gmail.com. Send us email, Instagram.
Hit us up with your favorite Twilight quotes from this series.
What's a good Eclipse quote to end it off on?
I'll love you till your heart stops beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sure you will.
Sure. Like Jacob says in the books all the time. Love you guys.
We love you guys.